There's no kind of reasonable discussion on either side. It's a sensitive and it is a difficult conversation to be had. Obviously, at the centre of that is perhaps the most significant cultural force of the last 20 years, JK Rowling, who's been excluded from the documentary celebrating 20 years of the Harry Potter franchise over comments that she's made on social media about the trans communities. Benjamin Butterworth, you do care about this and you've been, a passionate and powerful advocate. Do you think it's right that she shouldn't be there to celebrate her own book?
I mean, look, on the one hand, it's clearly a little strange because she invented Harry Potter. It was her idea. But, first of all, we don't know exactly why she won't be at this 20th anniversary. It may well be that she doesn't want to answer questions on issues like her transgender comments. And so it's easier for her to not turn up. It could well have been her own choice. But I do think that, this is something that millions and millions of children love the Harry Potter films and, for that matter, the books. And when she's been coming out with comments that cause so much hatred, so much negativity, so much insecurity to trans people, often I'm not sure with any great purpose, then I can perfectly understand why the other stars and, for example, for why the business doesn't want her there and doesn't want those views associated with a brand that brings so much joy to children. If she'd made those comments about gay people, I suspect this wouldn't be such a controversial decision.
Do you say, just to ask you a very direct question, I'm sure you'll give me a very direct answer, do you say JK Rowling is, I use the word inverted commas because not accepted term by everyone, do you say JK Rowling is transphobic?
Do you know, I'm not going to, I think she says transphobic things, but the problem is
well, hang on a second, just sorry to pick you up and ask for a straightforward, answer to a straightforward question. You're a straightforward writer and very much a straightforward person. You can't be a non-racist but say racist things. Is she, that's like being half pregnant. Do you say, Benjamin Button, that JK Rowling is transphobic or not? Yes or no?
Well, look, Benjamin Button is the
Don't call you Benjamin Button. Butterworth. It's because you're getting younger whilst I'm looking at you. Go on.
Okay. Yes, I think, she is guilty of transphobia. That's clear. But the only reason I was going to caveat that with is because sometimes I wonder whether these words actually achieve anything.
I hear you. Dawn, I've got to go to Dawn because I'm honestly concerned that she's going to explode. Dawn, answer before your ears blow off.
I just want to know from Benjamin what exactly JK Rowling said in her words that you interpret as hating transgender people. What does she actually say, Benjamin?
Well, she's made all sorts of comments about biological sex and suggesting that you can't change your sex assignment.
Wait up, Dawn. Come on, Benjamin, go on.
The truth is that she does that knowing full well that it whips up all sorts of transphobic people and causes all sorts of hate. And, she's an incredibly powerful woman. There is nobody transgender who has the power or the platform that she does to reciprocate when she makes all these...
Yeah, but she's asked... I'm sorry, Dawn's asked you a specific question again there. I did not call you Button again. Sorry, Benjamin Button. For a specific instance of something which one would identify as being transphobic. I mean, obviously you don't have the tweets in front of you. Can you just give us one so people understand where you're coming from?
Well, she's made comments about women having certain body parts when we know that, if you're transgender, you might not have a cervix if you've transitioned and you might be a man. Mm-hmm. And, those comments are simply created to stir up hatred. We shouldn't judge people on the combination of organs they have, but on how they identify.
Dawn Neesom?
Well, I'd like to say that there's one organ Benjamin's missing tonight, and that's a brain, because there is absolutely nothing wrong with a woman saying that a woman has a cervix and it's okay to call her a woman. A woman has a womb. A woman doesn't chest feed, she breastfeeds. And, it's the sheer, again, misogyny involved in this. If you go onto the NHS website for cervical cancer, it says people with cervixes. There's no mention of the word woman. If you go onto the male version for male cancers, it says men. Why? What's the difference? What is wrong with using the word woman? I can't even say it straight. I'm so angry about this. But, women have been fighting to have their voices heard since the first feminist meeting, I think it was around in the 1860s back in America. And now, after all those decades of fighting to be heard, we are being told to shut up by men.